Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to this early edition on Sunday of the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram. In this particular cricket show, well, as I said, we are going to, as far as England and Australia are concerned, England, this was their last match, as I said in my last Cricket Happening Show yesterday, that England have a last chance of leaving home with a victory under the belt. Well, that didn't happen. In fact, Australia swamped England in this particular match to win by 84 runs, and England are leaving Australia today after having a very dismal tour. They lose the T20 series 3-0, and Australia absolutely on a high. And the only two matches that England has won on this entire tour of Australia is one one-day international and one match which they won against the Prime Minister's 11, if I'm not wrong. Other than that, England didn't have anything to show for themselves, and Australia steamrolling England in the T20 series 3-0. Well, this particular one-day international, this was the last T20 match before England leave Australia, and this was played at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Now, Australia were the ones who actually batted first, and they racked up 195 for 6 wickets of their 20 overs. The opening partnership once again clattered runs, with Cameron White continuing his tremendous consistency in this T20 series by making 41 runs of 37 deliveries with 4 fours and 1 6. Aaron Finch, the opener, contributing 30 runs of 21 deliveries with 1 4 and 3 sixes. They gave a solid start of 48 runs in 7 overs for Australia. After that, Glenn Maxwell was dismissed cheaply. He was caught. Hales bowled broad for 14 of just 7 deliveries. He hit 2 sixes. So Australia, basically, if you look at the amount of sixes that were hit in this particular game, Australia probably playing with that swagger, playing with that confidence, because they are already, if you look at the sixes, it's almost there were 13 sixes hit in all in this 195 for 6 of Australia. So that gives you a real feeling of how Australia has approached this particular match. Ben Cutting was promoted in the batting order by George Bailey, the Australian captain, and Ben Cutting really showed what a good pinch hitter he can be by rattling runs in some tremendous fashion by smashing 29 runs of just 16 deliveries with 1 4 and 3 wonderfully hit sixes over the ground. After that, Ben Cutting contributed 29, and Brad Hodge got a chance finally, but Brad Hodge couldn't really capitalize. He made only 7 runs before being out at fine leg after hitting 1 boundary. Bailey was the one who once again, like the last match, but here what he did is that Jay Dernbash was, as I said, he's not a good death bowler, and that is proving to be absolutely right. Now, Jay Dernbash was absolutely really miffed with himself, because he leaked 26 runs of the final over, where the Australian captain George Bailey went after him and hit him for 3 fours and 2 sixes in an over to rattle 26 runs of the final over. He finished on an unbeaten 49 of just 20 deliveries with 4 fours and 3 sixes, and he was absolutely on song there, George Bailey, and that's what enabled Australia to rack up a score of 195 for 6 of their 20 overs. Daniel Christian was bowled by Broad for a duck. Matthew Wade contributed an unbeaten 19 of 10 balls with 1 4 and 1 6, and 195 for 6 in 20 overs was always looking a very tough target for England, considering the form that they have been in. As far as the bowling was concerned, Stuart Broad was economical. He also picked up wickets, 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 30. Jordan made his T20 international debut today, 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 23. Good returns for him. Bresnan, 4 overs, was costly today, no maiden, 42 runs on 1 wicket. Ben Stokes leaked a lot of runs, 3 overs cost him 36 runs, and Jay Dernbash till such time he bowled 3 overs. He had given away only 23 runs, but once that 26 runs were taken in the final over by George Bailey of Dernbash, that really spoiled Dernbash figures and proved that Dernbash can never be a death bowler for England, as probably I thought that the English captain Stuart Broad erred as far as judgment is concerned, because Dernbash, the history has shown that Dernbash has been pretty poor as far as death bowling is concerned, and today that proved to be, and Dernbash really turning out to be the worst death bowler ever according to me, because he has been every time and then one has seen that Dernbash has received a lot of tap, and today his figures were ruined by George Bailey. 4 overs no maiden, none for 49, and Joe Root bowled 1 over in which he gave away 13 runs and picked up a wicket. So 195 for 6 was what Australia set England, and England didn't start off well at all. They started losing wickets at regular intervals. The only person who really contributed there for England, I mean, they were all out for Nelson, 111 all out in just 17.2 overs. They couldn't even use the entire quota of 20 overs, and they succumbed for 111, with only Owen Morgan contributing 34 runs of 20 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes. Nothing to really talk about. The bowling is the one which really had England absolutely on the rack, I would say, because Mitchell Starc just bowled 2.2 overs no maiden, 8 runs and 1 wicket for him. Nathan Coulter-Nile continued his very good performances in this T20 series, bowling 4 overs for 21 runs and 2 wickets. Glenn Maxwell bowling 4 overs for 31 runs with 2 wickets. Everyone contributed, in the sense the bowlers stuck to a very good line and length. They were very disciplined, and they didn't allow England absolutely any room to really maneuver strokes. Ben Cutting bowled 3 overs no maiden, 1 for 18. Daniel Christian 2 overs no maiden, 1 for 14. And James Muirhead, the right arm leg spinner, was pretty impressive. I mean, what one has seen as far as James Muirhead, the right arm leg spinner, is concerned, the first match he bowled well, the second match he got wickets, and in the third match he bowled superbly. Even though he bowled 2 overs, he got 2 wickets. One was the wicket of Stuart Broad, the captain of England, when he actually drew him forward and had him stumped behind the wicket, and then he also had one more wicket with a very big leg break, which actually claimed the wicket. I think it was Stuart Broad who was actually bowled by that big leg break from Muirhead, the right arm leg spinner, and then Tim Bresnan was stumped. It was the other way around, and that was it. England, as I said, there was proved absolutely no challenge, and definitely that was the end. Player of the match went to the Australian T20 captain, George Bailey. England chasing 195. Luke Wright contributed 8 runs of 12 balls with 1 4. Alex Hales made only 6 runs of 8 balls with 1 4. Ben Stokes disappointed, even though he was sent as 1 drop. He really couldn't get matters going. He was gone for 4 balls with 1 4. Joe Root struggled at the crease with 11 runs of 21 balls with 1 4. As I said, Owen Morgan was the only one who contributed something of note, 34 runs, but it was not enough at all. Butler was out for 8 of 9 balls. Bopara inside the ball onto the stumps of the bowling of Nathan Coulter-Nile for 4 of 5 balls. And as I said, Muirhead claimed the wicket of Bresnan and Broad. Jordan on his T20 international debut not out on 10 of 12 balls with 2 fours. And England were all out for 111 in 17.2 overs. And George Bailey of Australia taking the man of the match, and Australia taking the series 3-0. In fact, it was a clean sweep as far as the T20 series was concerned. And this particular series, this England tour of Australia, has been absolutely dismal for England, and they have been, as I said, they have been absolutely wiped out in all the 3 formats of the game, and England have to do a lot of soul searching now. They have the new managing director of international cricket, Paul Downton, who has taken over. So he has a real task on hand to rally his troops and see to it whether England can turn the corner. And especially this is something that would have left England with a real bitter experience. And considering that they have lost the T20 series to Australia 3-0, and with the T20 World Cup looming large, which is coming up in Bangladesh in the month of March, England have a lot of soul searching to do. Just talking about this tour of England, just keeping it on the English tour of Australia. England have been they have definitely unearthed a few good all-rounders in the form of Ben Stokes, who is definitely a real future player for England, no doubt about that. Other than that, Chris Jordan, who has been given a long rope, and he has definitely proved himself. Looks to be a good bowler. But Dernbach, let me tell you, his death bowling is something which is very worrying factor. Even though they have been persisting with Dernbach for quite some time, he has not been getting the ball to roll on as far as the death overs are concerned. Now that is something where Dernbach needs to get a lot of control. Other than that, I thought England have done. Australia, well, as I said, they are on a definite high. Australia have already touched South Africa, so now Australia will be taking on South Africa, and what a series that is going to be. According to me, it is a clash of the titans, because both Australia are breathing fire. South Africa on their own land after their victory over India, they are looking pretty accomplished. They are the #1 team in the ICC rankings right now as far as tests are concerned, and South Africa and Australia is going to be one plum of a contest, no doubt about that. Really looking forward to that. The pace bowling on both the sides is pretty strong, and the batting is also pretty, so I think they are very evenly balanced, and it's like an even Stevens, and I'm sure it is going to be a gripping contest as far as the Australia-South Africa Test series that is coming up shortly. Other than that, I have some news here of a tour game that India is playing just before the Test matches start. And for India, the good thing to take from this particular match, it was a match between the New Zealand 11, which didn't have a lot of Test players other than Anton Davesic, who was there, and Robert O'Donnell, who is the under-19 captain for New Zealand, who scored 80 runs, so with 13 for India. The good thing for India was that Ishwar Pandey, the tall bowler who gets the ball to bounce, got a very good. This is the first time that he is touring any country, in the sense he's the first time he's a part of the Indian cricket team. He's a rookie, and I thought on his first stint on New Zealand wickets here at the Cobham Oval in Whangarei, I thought Ishwar Pandey really proved something. He bowled superbly, got the ball to bounce, and he had figures of 14 overs, 5 maidens, 52 runs, and he picked up 3 wickets. And other than that, Zahir Khan picked up 18 overs, 6 maidens, 1 for 42. Umesh Yadav 18 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 70. Ishan Sharma 14 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 58. And Ashwin 14 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 45, enabling them to bowl out New Zealand 11 on the very first day at 262. As I said, there were not much players that you could know about. It's only one player who has played some international cricket, and that is Anton Davesic, who was out for 9. Other than that, Robert O'Donnell contributing 80 runs with 13 fours, with the under-19 captain of New Zealand. So 262 for 9 was what New Zealand finished with. And the Indian openers, Murli Vijay with an unbeaten 19 with 1 4, and Shikhar Dhawan, who is out of form, but he was there unbeaten on 16 with 3 4s. Saw of the day for India. India 41 for no loss in reply at stumps on day 1. So one good thing for India was that Ishwar Pandey, on his very first tour the first international tour, has really shown a lot of promise here, and he has picked up 3 wickets. So that is something which is good news for India coming into the Test series now, which is going to be played between India and New Zealand. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that's it as far as the cricket happening show on this Sunday is concerned. I'll be back tomorrow with your next cricket happening show. Until then, it's goodbye on this Sunday, and you all have a great day. Thank you.